Yeah, John, there were a few things that I thought were interesting in the speech. You had some data about the medical or the negative ramifications of marijuana use, and then you've got some data about cigarette and tobacco use, and I assume that there's a value argument coming that suggests that it's really, you know, we aren't putting our effort in the right places, or there's something hypocritical about having the one things, you know, the two things legal and the other thing not. But that really doesn't pan out very much. It just seems like you mention it, but there's not much inference and follow-through on that point. On the issue concerning what the legal status would be if we legalize it, what the benefits are, those are the things that you come into right at the end. I got basically no development of that argument whatsoever. There's a little bit of a discussion about the medical marijuana practices, and you seem to be largely critical of those practices as opposed to suggesting that this is acceptable. So sometimes it sounds like you're saying this is a terrible thing, we're not very careful about it, and other times you're saying, well, the reason it's a terrible thing is because it's illegal, but you haven't told us what's bad about it being illegal, so that would justify legalizing it, or how legalizing would be better than what we're doing now, and I think that needs to be a heck of a lot clearer. On the presentation issues, you're pretty consistent in your speaking. Your eye contact is okay. I didn't ever feel like you were completely involved in the speech. Sometimes it just seemed, in the opening when you're telling the story, you're very naturalistic, but it doesn't seem like it's something that's been well planned. And I think the rest of the speech ends up following through there, and your delivery really tends to suggest that, because your eye contact is sometimes inconsistent, not bad, just a little bit awkward, and the same thing with your gestures and your body movements. Again, it's not something that I would say was a huge problem, but they don't seem to be adding to the presentation. They just seem to be manifestations of the way you were feeling at that particular moment and not really connected to the argument. I did hear, in fact, one of those interesting arguments that I heard when people were objecting to medical marijuana. One of the arguments was, if we allow medical marijuana, it's going to be used as a justification for legalization, and you practically have the quote exactly. Hey, if doctors are prescribing it, how bad can it be? And all of a sudden, there's the argument that those people 10 years ago, 15 years ago were making, saying, we don't want to make this available for medical uses, because the next thing you know, people are going to say, well, it can't be that bad, let's go ahead and use it because doctors are prescribing it. I just thought it was interesting. I got almost exactly the quote that I heard years ago from people